Hello everyone, this is a video on the Qigong organ massage, and I wanted to use this video to explain some key concepts I use in working with individuals. So this is part of my Aya Om breathwork and medical Qigong clinic, which I integrate holistic lifestyle coaching, shamanic and medical Qigong and energy medicine, as well as breathwork, yoga, and a number of other modalities. There's an underlying principle in all of this, and it's that you are the creator of your reality, and your health, your harmony in life, and your capacity to move towards your dreams is something within. So this process of working with me, whether we're working on a disease, an imbalance of harmony, mental, emotional, physical, or the direction towards your dream, your goals, and how you can achieve them, underlying all of this is a level of personal responsibility and a heightened level of awareness of what limiting beliefs are in the way, what blocked emotions are in the way from clarity or just causing imbalance in the system, and what's going on at any other level that is preventing you from either moving towards your goal and your dream, or from healing, from finding your wholeness once again. And I don't see the movement towards your dream and the healing of a disease, imbalance, or condition as a separate process. So we always want to focus on our wholeness. And part of where we gain the energy to evolve is from that dream. It gives us the motivation to change. So the Qigong organ massage is something that I would offer individuals as a prescription exercise that they can take home with them in conjunction to the work that we do in sessions and in the services I provide. So let's give a little introduction to this. Qigong organ massage works on the 5 major yin organs in the Chinese system. I'm going to demo this one with the heart. In each of these organs, they have an association. So there's associated negative and positive emotions, colors, etc. And we're going to work with each of these organs for the heart today at 3 levels: physical, emotional, and mental. And the understanding here is that yes, we have a physical body, and that's a certain vibratory level of energy, but we have emotions, and they're also encapsulated at a different level of energy, but also within this body, as well as our beliefs and our thoughts, the ones we're thinking now, and the beliefs that basically organize our subconscious and our perception. So it's important to address all of these when we talk about healing, when we want to get at the root cause of what's going on. This is the holistic model of how we can come back to wholeness, and from that, all harmony and balance exists. So if we're working on the heart, we're going to want to connect with the physical. So one of the ways we can do that is we can do a little massage. It's like self-love in action. It's like getting in touch with ourselves. Circular motions in a clockwise direction begin to warm the local region. And then it's going to take some of the mind's awareness, which can often be, often screens or in thoughts, and we pull the mind into the body. And when we do that, the nervous system begins to allocate more of its resources, more blood flow, more attention, more immune response, etc. So that's simply just from touching the body. And then what we're going to do is use some sounds to begin to move the energy. So the heart sound is jong or ha. I'll demo ha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center my mind's awareness in my heart, and then I'm going to make the ha sound. So the movement's there. As I'm saying the ha sound, I'm releasing. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling any energy away that could be caught there. When I'm making the ha, I'm not singing, I'm not projecting. Ha. I'm using the sound vibration as a tool. So what I'm doing is, it's important where I'm making the sound from. I'm vibrating right here. And the vibration is going to create vibrations in the cells. It's going to help create nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator, so more blood flow can come in. And it's going to clear up any blockages, particularly with this level of sound at the physical level. So I do a number of repetitions like this. And that's going to bring me into a greater anchoring of my mind's awareness in my heart organ, as well as beginning to work with the electromagnetic fields of energy that are in and around the body. So we're working at these very fundamental levels of energy so that we can affect the mind and the body and the emotion. So an individual could do a number of repetitions of this, 3, 6, 9. We often use 3s in the Qigong system. And then we move on to the next level of energy. So it would move something like this. I'm in the emotional field, so I can either be on the heart or I can be in the emotional field, which is a few inches beyond the body. So what I'm doing there is I'm making the sound at a much more subtle level, because I'm working out of the gross level of the physical and now into the more emotional and subtle vibrations. So by changing the breath into more of a breathe or whisper breath, I'm accessing a different level. And when you do this on your own, you'll find that this is one of 3 levels. Each time you go in with a quieter sound, your awareness also drops deeper into your center. So these are meditation tools in addition to self-healing tools. And now at this emotional level, the first one we're getting at the physical, this is going to get at the emotions. And then the Chinese system, we hold anxiety and overexcitement, even all the way to shock on the spectrum there, as a negative quality that can be held in the heart space. So we're intentionally releasing that, any anxieties in that way. And then what we're doing on the inhale is we're inviting in love and contentment. So as that process is going, I'm exhaling, releasing those anxieties. And then as I'm inhaling, I'm inviting in love and contentment. So this is energetic alchemy. We're becoming aware of that we do have these. So this is a fundamental understanding that we have negative emotion, particularly anger, anxiety, sadness, worry, and fear. And the more that we can become aware of it, we can address it, we can bring it to the light. And the more that we can understand how it's tied in with our limiting beliefs and how it affects us, we can more quickly release it. Because negative or positive emotions, it doesn't matter. We don't want to get too caught up in either pole. Otherwise, we'll get an attachment and an aversion. So we want to create a way of living life so that emotions can move through us naturally and easily. We experience the positive emotion and we don't get attached to its source. We experience the negative emotion, we learn from it, and we don't resist it and hold it in the body, causing imbalance. So when we're able to better clear these emotions and orientate our awareness in certain ways, we can more effectively deal with negative emotions, and this will compound and help with our healing in many ways. So we're doing this alchemy to focus on where we want to focus our attention. We want to address the negative, not simply avoiding it and then letting it go, or at least creating an energy that recognizes it and begins the process of letting it go. And then at the next level of sound, it's called the secret sound or the mystery sound. We're just going to make the sound in the mind as we do an exhaling breath, expanding, pulling out from the energy fields, and then inhaling, still gathering in. And at all these levels, you can do an option of breathing in red light or white light. So exhaling. I took a nice deep breath in that last one, and that was just what happened because I created a little bit of energetic space where there was an opening. I cleared a little bit of energy that was blocked up in some way, And you'll find that when you're stressed, there's a lot of negative emotion, there's a lot of overthinking, your breath becomes short and shallow and dysregulated. And when you're feeling really good and open, your breath will naturally become more full and deep. So as you're doing these exercises, you'll find any density, any heaviness in these local regions, because we're affecting the physical, emotional, and mental, begin to open up, and your breath will be restored in a really good way. You'll feel more grounded and present throughout this whole process. So then at that mental level, as you can tell, I'm just doing it at the level of the mental. I'm just making the sound in my mind, so it's working to affect at that level. Once again, with the intention of releasing any beliefs, anything that's not serving, and then inviting in good energy that's going to serve health and harmony. So once again, we can do a number of repetitions, say 3 or 6 at the level of the physical, same thing for the emotional, same thing for the mental. And then to finish the exercise, just come back to the heart. Maybe just breathe into it a few times, or do a little gentle circular motions, or even tapping, and help to bring a little bit more of that good energy in. So a quick review of what we spoke to here. The system I'm explaining here has this underlying principle that we can affect our health, and that our thought patterns and our emotions are directly affecting our physiology. Not mentioned so far yet, but the holding of negative emotions and these blocked thought patterns are what eventually create imbalances that can manifest as disease and other imbalanced conditions in the system. So we want to be able to have a level of awareness of what's going on with us at our mental, emotional, and physical, and a capacity to move things that aren't serving out of our field and begin to basically cultivate our energy like a garden within. So this organ massage, we start off with massaging at the level of the physical. We're bringing circulation. We're allowing the natural healing responses of the body to begin to take effect. So we're just helping out the body to what it's already always trying to do, which is bring us into health and harmony. And we're just making it more effective by bringing the body more attention and resources. Because if we focus our awareness outside of ourselves, that's where our attention and energy goes. So this process is so simple. It's coming back to the body and giving it what it needs, and it can do its own thing, right? So we're just setting up the conditions for success. And then we're creating the right energetic environment and the right intentions to begin to facilitate that process. This particular exercise offers that we can release and pull away any of this negative emotion that can actually feel. You can feel like stickiness and heaviness when you're around a very negative environment, or you're going through a lot of heaviness, density, negative emotion, and we can bring that away from us. So we can move it out from our field and invite in the qualities that we're wishing to see. Now, is this effective if you don't believe in it? There is effect, because you're breathing and you're bringing, as I said, resources towards the body. It does become more powerful the more powerful you are at trusting yourself that you can affect your health, your mind, and your emotions. So yeah, you are an integral part of this healing process. And the more confidence you have in yourself that you can overcome whatever the limiting beliefs, the emotions, the imbalances, the disease that you may or may not have, the more strength you have in yourself and trust you have in yourself, of course it helps. It helps everything in life when you have more confidence, when you're fully willing to move forward with faith. And the last piece I'll mention is, when we're doing this process, and when you learn the full one, and I have some videos on YouTube of the healing sounds and how it's a very similar process of this, there's not only the releasing of what we don't want, inviting in what we do want, but we also don't just want to release our sadness and invite in happiness. Because once again, we're going to create a polarity there, which we might be moving once again towards attraction of one thing and aversion of another. So one of the things that we do in Qigong is to invite in a virtue instead of the opposite quality. And this is really beautiful alchemy there, because if we just invite in happiness, we're just going to seek the opposite. But if we invite in the virtue of courage, we're going to have the courage cultivated in us to move towards the sadness. So this is more powerful in the way that sadness, and our sadness, when we begin to actually open ourselves to feel it, is something that has depth and layers. For one, if we're just not willing to feel our sadness in general, we'll just become avoidant of that emotion, and there's many people like that. Once we're willing to feel our sadness, we begin to feel our emotions, and it's a whole other wild way to live in life, as you begin to actually dip into the highs and lows of your moment to moment real experience. And then there's depths to that, because you not only have your surface level emotions of what's happening for you, but you have your entire legacy, your history of sadness throughout your entire life. And if you want to dive deeper, lifetimes, as well as you can begin to tap into the sadness of the collective, of the world at large. And it takes courage, because you don't go there unless you're willing to go there. And that's when your depth of being a healer and being healed and becoming more whole becomes much more powerful, when you're not only willing to see your depth, your healing, your sadness, but you're able to go even deeper. So the cultivation of virtue is one of the things that allows us to go into that deeper alchemy, to help us to heal and to help the collective heal at those levels. So thank you for watching. This is the organ healing massage with sound meditation from Qigong, and I'll make a video on the full process, and it'll be guided so that you can just flow through it. But this would be a great video to watch before, so you have an understanding of some of the alchemy and the encouragement to shift the mind state into I can heal, because that's so important for this process. Thank you for listening and watching. I am